Hi YouTube, Tim Unkert here. In this video we are going to rewrite roots with rational exponents. So for problem 1 we have the square root of 2x squared. So let's rewrite that as a rational exponent. So this is going to be 2 times x squared, and we're going to raise it to the 1/2 power. Now this is 2 to the first power, so this is going to become 2 to the 1/2 power, because when we raise a power to a power, we multiply the power, so it's 1 times 1/2. And for x, we're going to multiply that by x. Well, 2 times 1/2 is 1, so we could write x to the first power, but it's typically convention we leave out the 1. So we get 2 to the 1/2 power times x for this first one here. Okay, let's try some more of these. Alright, problem 2, we're taking the cube root of negative 27 x to the 5th y to the 7th. Alright, so we're going to do negative 27 x to the 5th y to the 7th to the 1/3 power. Okay, so it's going to equal, we're going to have negative 27 to the 1/3 power times 5 times 1/3 is 5/3, so it's going to be x to the 5/3 power, and then times y to the 7/3 power. Alright, so the negative 27 to the 1/3 power, the cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. Why is that? Well, we multiply 3 negative 3's together, we're going to get negative 27. So we have negative 3 times x to the 5/3 power. Let me make that a little bit better. X to the 5/3 power y to the 7/3 power. Okay. Let's keep going. Alright, next one we have the cube root of, or not the cube root, the 5th root of negative 32x to the 4th times the cube root of negative 125x to the 5th. Alright, so let's write this out. So we have negative 32 x to the 4th. That's going to be to the 1/5 power times negative 125 x to the 5th to the 1/3 power. Alright, so let's break this apart further. So we have negative 32 to the 1/5 power times, now this is 4 times 1/5 is going to be 4/5 times, it's going to be negative 125 to the 1/3 power times, then it's going to be x to the 5/3 power. Okay, so negative 32 to the 1/5 power is negative 2, because if you multiply 5 negative 2's together, you're going to get negative 32. And then I'm going to group the numbers together. So negative 125 to the 1/3 power is negative 5, because if you multiply 3 negative 5's together, you're going to get negative 125. And then let's do times x. We're multiplying two variables, the same base, so we're going to add the exponents. So it's going to be x to the 4/5 plus 5/3. So we're going to have to come up with a common denominator. And looking quickly, it's probably going to be 15. So this is going to be, 4/5 goes, if you multiply the top and the bottom by 3, you get 12/15. And then If you multiply the top and the bottom here by 5, you get 25/15. Okay. Add those together, you're going to get 37/15. And kind of got to leave that as is because there's nothing really that we can divide out of the top and the bottom that's greater than 1. That's a common factor. So anyway, so we're going to do -2 times -5. That's going to be +10. And we have x to the 37/15 power. Pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. All right, problem 4. We've got square root of 64 x to the 4th y to the 9th times the 4th root of 81 x to the 11th y to the 6th. Okay, so let's write this as 64 x to the 4th y to the 9th to the 1/2 power. Fix my 4 here. It looks sad. Okay. All right, times 81 x to the 11th y to the 6th power, and that's all raised to the 1/4 power. Okay, so first we're going to take 64 to the 1/4 power, 1/2 power rather, and then times x, it's going to be to the 4/2 power. I'm going to leave that as a fraction for right now without simplifying it because we're going to want to combine it with the x over here. Okay, times y to the 9/2 power. Okay, times 81 to the 1/4 power times x to the 11/4 power times, let me fix that, times y to the 6/4 power. Okay, so let's group the numbers together. The square root of 64 is 8, and the 4th root of 81 is 3, so we have 8 times 3. Then let's group the x's together, so we have x to the 4/2 plus 11/4 power times y to the 9/2 plus 6/4 power. Okay, so 8 times 3 is 24. Let me do my 24 better. 24. And then we have 4/2 plus 11/4. So I could make this, if I multiply both the top and the bottom by 2, I could change this to 8/4. So 8 plus 11 is 19, so 19/4. We really can't simplify that. And then y, again, if I multiply the top and the bottom here by 2, that would give me 18/4. So that's going to be 18 plus 6 is 24/4. So y can be simplified. So this is going to be 24x to the 19/4 power. Y to 24 divided by 4 is 6 to the 6th power. Cool. All right, I think I have one more here. All right, so problem 5, we have the 6th root of 729 x squared y cubed times the square root of 121 x cubed y cubed. Okay, so 729 x squared y cubed to the 1/6 power times 121 x cubed y cubed to the 1/2 power. Okay, so let's break this apart. So we have 729 to the 1/6 power times, this is going to be x to the 2/6, which is, let's just simplify it to 1/3. And then 3 times 1/6 is going to be 3/6, so let's make it 1/2. Okay, times, we have 121 to the 1/2 power times x to, that's going to be 3/2 power, times y to, again, the 3/2 power. All right, so 729 is, the 6th root of 729 is 3. Square root of 121 is 11, so 3 times 11 times x, it's going to be 1/3 plus 3/2 times y to the 1/2 plus 3/2. Okay, so 3 times 11 is 33. And then we've got to add 1/3 plus 3/2. So common denominator here, we want to do 1/3 plus 3/2. Common denominator is going to be 6. So I can make this 9, multiply both the top and the bottom by 3 here, so 9/6. And multiply the top and the bottom here by 2, so 2/6. So it's going to be x to the 2 plus 9 is 11, 11/6. Okay, and then y, 1/2 plus 3/2 is 4/2. 4/2 is just 2, so it's going to be y squared. Okay, and there you go. That's it. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe.